Hey there, everybody. My name's Adam Tarnow. Hopefully we all get to meet face to face here one day. In the meantime, thank you so much for stopping by my website or on my YouTube page. Really grateful that you're curious to learn more about my teaching style, my communication style. What would it be like if you hired me to come in and speak at one of your events? And so I'm pleased to share with you all an example of a message that I have done recently. The context for this message was they wanted something to be very short, about think TED Talk style, 10 to 12 minutes long. This was an online virtual conference for a bunch of professionals that are in the event planning industry. So they wanted a message that would encourage them. The theme for this entire day, I was one of many speakers that day, but the theme was the hero's journey that a lot of us are familiar with. And so they asked me on this day to talk about that step in the hero's journey where they meet the guide, meet the mentor. So I was trying to encourage these professionals to go and seek out a mentor. So anyway, that was the context for this message. I hope you enjoy it. If there's anything I can do to help with one of the events that you have coming up, there's my email address right there. You can reach out to me at adam@adamtarnow.com. But without any further ado, enjoy this message of me encouraging event planning professionals to go and seek out a mentor. Now, to start that out, what I want to do is I want to compare your journey and my journey, like our career journeys. I want to compare it to some movies, if you're okay with that, because this story structure that we've been talking about, this hero's journey, has been around for thousands of years, and it shows up everywhere. It shows up in television shows and novels, and it shows up in a lot of films. And I think there's something really encouraging by that, and it certainly fits with a lot of our experience because we've seen a lot of these films. And I think it's really interesting as we look at this story structure and the role that the mentor plays in the life of the hero. I think we're going to see a lot of application for our own journeys that we are on, that you're on as an event planning professional, and that I'm on as well. And so let's talk about a few films here and really break down a little bit more this hero's journey. I'm oversimplifying a few things, but let's think about, for some reason, like one of my favorite films is the Hunger Games trilogy. So let's think about that trilogy, but you can apply this to so many different ones, to Harry Potter, Star Wars, Shawshank Redemption. Again, this story structure has been around for a long time, but one of those things that all those films have in common is there is a hero, and the hero wants something, but they do not have it, right? They do not have it right now. So let's go to the Hunger Games. You think Katniss Everdeen, due to that tribute, 74th Hunger Games, there was something that she wanted that she did not have, and that one thing that she wanted was she didn't want to die in the Hunger Games. And so she was stuck in this fog. She was stuck in this really volatile, uncertain, ambiguous season of her life, and she was stuck, and she was scared, and she was frustrated, and she didn't know what to do. And that's where the writers of the story bring in another character, and that character is incredibly important, not only in the story structure to keep the story moving, but that character is very important in the life of the hero as well. And that character that gets introduced is the mentor. And so in the Hunger Games trilogy, this was Haymitch Abernathy, right? If you watch the films, this was Woody Harrelson's great character. The mentor shows up, and the mentor has a very specific role to play. And the role that the mentor plays is this, is they are there to try to call the hero to action. So they show up and they recognize that the hero has something that, or they want something that they do not have, and so they're confused, they're stuck with all this volatility and this uncertainty and this ambiguity. And so the mentor calls the hero to action, and it changes the trajectory of the hero's life. So calls them to action, they give them a plan, and that plan will help them achieve success and avoid that failure. So Katniss Everdeen on her way to the 74th Hunger Games, Haymitch Abernathy shows up, gives her a plan and says, here's how you need to act in the games to make sure that you win. Here's how you need to play the game. And so that mentor plays a very specific role because the hero's confused, they need some help, and that's the role that the mentor plays. Again, go to all the different films and you'll start to see this mentor pop up everywhere. In the Star Wars films, it was Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. In Shawshank Redemption, it was Morgan Freeman's character that showed up to help Tim Robbins' character get unstuck. And so this role of the mentor shows up in all of these films and is incredibly important in the life of the hero. Now, if we take that story structure and apply it to our career journey or your career journey as an event planning professional, for you too, you go through seasons of your career, and some of you may be in one right now where you feel stuck. You don't know what to do. And what you need is the same thing that Katniss needed, and the same thing that that Tim Robbins needed, the same thing that Luke Skywalker needed. You need that mentor to show up into your life and to help you with that. And so for us, there's a way to describe these seasons of fog that we go through, these seasons of confusion that we go through. And these are really 4 quick reasons why you and I need mentors in our life, because the world that we live in right now is filled with these 4 things. And I can use an acronym here called VUCA, right? The VUCA world that we live in. It kind of sounds like a 90s band, right? A band that would have opened for Green Day or Smashing Pumpkins or something like that, the VUCA. But VUCA stands for this. It stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Does that not describe our world? Is our world not filled right now? Is your world as an event planning professional, is it not filled with volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity? The answer is yes. That's exactly what it's filled with. And so because you and I live in this VUCA world, and because it is so common for us as professionals on our journey to face all kinds of these VUCA moments where we just feel like we're stuck in a fog, it's because of that, because of this uncertainty that we live in. This is why we need mentors in our life. Because those mentors that are maybe just a little bit farther down the road, they can play the role in our life like Haymitch played in Katniss's life and give us a plan and clear the path and remove confusion and give us some clarity. That's what we need so often, is we just need clarity. And we can't get that ourselves. A lot of times, just like in the movies, we need the mentor to come into our life and to help us with clarity. And so that's my message for us during this hour. And that's my encouragement or my challenge or my call to action for you, is that maybe one of the best next steps that you have or you need to make in your career is to find a mentor. And this is where our like in the real world, in this VUCA world that we live in, this is where things are different than in the movies. Because in the movies, the mentors, they just magically appear. But in the real world, I don't know about you all, but I've never just had a mentor magically appear in my life. No, I've never, when I've been stuck in a VUCA moment, I've never had a mentor just come knocking on the door like, hey, Adam, you got anything going on? Like, you confused about anything? Facing any volatility, uncertainty? Like, that never happens. They never just magically appear in my life like they do in the movies. And so for you and I, if we want to go find those mentors, we've got to do something that they don't do in the movies. And that is, if we want this person to help us, we have got to go and ask for that help. For you and I, what we need to do to get the wisdom from those mentors is we have to ask them for it. And again, that's what I love about organizations like MPI, or what you're doing over the next couple of days as you're expanding your network. Some of you may be meeting people that can help you with whatever VUCA moment you're in right now. And so this little formula that has worked for me as I think about all the decisions I've had to make in my career and all the different mentors that have called me to action and helped me to achieve success and avoid failure, the little formula is this, is I've got to reach out to them. And when I reach out to them, I don't just ask them if they can meet me for coffee or breakfast or lunch. I make it known I have a need. I need to pick your brain on something, or I need to seek your wisdom on something. And so I'm faced with a dilemma right now. Can you help me? I'd love to get your perspective. So I let them know I need your wisdom. And then when I sit down with them, I honor their time. If they say they can give me 30 minutes, I only take 30 minutes. If they say it's an hour, then I only take an hour. But I honor their time, I ask them questions, I write down what it is that they say, and then I send them a thank you note saying, here's all the things that I learned. And I'm telling you, if you do that over and over again, you will start to realize that you are developing this huge database of great mentors that can help you in the VUCA world. We can't get away from VUCA. It's going to show up. Our world is constantly going to be filled with those things. But what we can do is we can take initiative and go and seek a mentor. The mentor, they can really clear that path and help us as we continue on in our journey. So my message is this, that there is no such thing as a self-made person, right? Everybody who is successful, they've got people who have helped them. That's true for me, and I bet it's true for you as well. So the hero on your journey, you as a hero on the journey, what you need is you probably need that mentor. So I hope that encourages you. I hope that you go and find that mentor, and I'm really excited for this next hour now as Huang Nguyen is going to come and share with you what happens as you cross that threshold and start to plan and keep on in your journey. Keep it up. I'm cheering you on. I love what you do. Thank you so much for your time today.